Orientation for the Pastaphysics department. My name is Dr. Jeremiah Cimmerian. I'm a member of the SCP Foundation's Ethics Committee. Some of you look a bit confused, which shows that you're not stupid. You might even be asking yourself what the Ethics Committee has to do with the food service staff. Well, first, I'd like to ask how much you enjoyed the stale donuts, the cold coffee, and the warm soda. Probably didn't enjoy it much yesterday either. Every meal you've had this week has been terrible. That's by design. Some of you were recruited directly from the military. Some of you are trained civilian chefs. Others have worked in fast food for years. Treat the stale donuts as an object lesson. A good meal can make a world of difference in both mood and morale. The people you're going to be feeding are going to be working with some of the most dangerous objects in the world. If Dr. McDoctorson is working with a potentially world-ending artifact every day, he's bound to get a bit listless. The wrong mood at the wrong time, and maybe the good doctor makes a mistake that no one can recover from. What if instead they wake up thinking about the pizza you're going to be serving at lunch instead? The effect a good meal has on efficiency and safety cannot be overstated. That's only half your purpose. And it's why I'm delivering this orientation. The SCP Foundation is a sort of research organization. The world is much stranger than we let on. Some of you are even on track to receive security clearances of your own. You've likely already learned, at least around the edges, what kind of strange and wonderful items we keep in containment. What you haven't been told yet are the living anomalies. Yes, murmur, I get it. That's not in the brochure. Sadly, we're also a prison isn't a good selling point for hiring the best of the best, even with a six-figure salary. To protect the world, we put people under lock and key, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This causes problems that you will need to find some of the solutions to. Let me talk to you about Jacob Mackenzie. He was an accountant born with an anomaly that caused local seismic disturbances if he experienced pain. The disturbance worsened depending on the severity of his pain. His anomalous nature was discovered, and he was contained by the Foundation in his mid-20s. He had a number of dietary restrictions. He was not allowed frozen foods for fear of a brain freeze. He was not allowed sharp or hard foods on the off chance he might cut the inside of his mouth, and he was not allowed spicy food of any kind. His favorite type of food was Mexican. At the time, the people in charge of his containment also kept him under the effects of narcotic pain medications almost around the clock. His nutritional requirements reflected this reality, of course. He required higher than average hydration due to the medications he was using, for instance. Those in charge of his care didn't need to enforce the dietary restrictions, however. At the time, the Foundation kept the same meal for every sentient object, a poorly flavored mush that was cheap and could keep a human alive indefinitely. Jacob experienced a period of serious depression and took his own life in 2004. The entirety of Site-134 was lost in the seismic event that occurred during that incident. Would a meal from Taco Bell have solved Jacob's depression? No. But if we'd been paying attention, we'd have noticed he wasn't eating as much anymore. And maybe such a meal combined with a host of other precautions would have helped. You will still run into old-school Foundation staff who treat the object under our care as prisoners. They both are and are not that. We are not jailers. We are caretakers. Most of these people have done nothing to deserve punishment and imprisonment. They are in containment for their and the world's safety, but they should be treated with gentle dignity and respect. This is why the food service staff were put under the Ethics Committee purview in 2005. It's why you attended a number of orientations this week with the newly hired entertainment staff as well. Each of you will be in charge of a site or a project foods needs. Some of you will have staff of dozens, others will work alone. No matter what you do, you will need to study the objects under your care. Their wants, their needs, their mood. This is all your concern. You will not, however, be alone. You are one of many fail-safes that we have put in place to save the life of the next Jacob Mackenzie. If you need more information about a person's history or preferences than the dossiers are telling you, then you should contact the Intel department. They will help you. If you run into a particularly stubborn researchers who you think are negatively affecting the psychological health of those under your care, you will contact the Ethics Committee liaison for the site or project you are assigned to. There will be more meetings this week, and many of you will be receiving specialized one-on-one briefings for the object or objects that will be under your care. I'll leave you with the food service staff's motto: be polite, be professional, but have a plan to feed everyone you meet. You may have smelled the pizza in the next room. We've got bread-free and vegan options. Oh, and hot coffee and cold sodas. Have a nice day. I really do enjoy this orientation. Just kind of a reminder that even the jobs people consider normal or uninteresting still has a big impact on everyone. And just kind of do the best you can in whatever job you have, because you never know whose day you're going to make better or worse. Thank you for listening, and have a good rest of your night.